Well, hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss atomic spectra and spectral lines. So this is part 3. So I have already done videos of atom chapter part 1, part 2, part 3. So in part 3 I'll complete the entire chapter. So in part 3 I have left off with a spectra. So Bohr has explained spectra in a clear cut manner. So I am going to discuss the spectral lines and atomic spectra and spectral lines for the hydrogen atoms. So let's start the topic. So here, so we have two types of emissions of spectrum. One is emission spectrum. So one is emission spectrum. One is emission spectrum. Emission spectrum we have. Second one is absorption spectrum we have. So we have sorry, here I wrote AMI. Okay, you can write once again. Emission spectrum, and second one is absorption spectrum. Second one, let's talk about absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum. So these are two spectrums here. The mainly will routine in a different in everywhere. So we will discuss here emission spectrum and absorption spectrum. So I am going to discuss what is the emission spectrum, what is the absorption spectrum in a clear cut manner. So let's talk about the emission spectrum. So emission spectrum is here, which is actually emits a radiation. Absorption spectrum takes energy and it will be moves from one orbit to the other orbit. Then also it will emit one kind of spectrum. So how it will happen? Let's talk first emission spectrum. Also we'll discuss. Then we'll go with the absorption spectrum, and then we'll talk spectral lines. So spectral series and spectral lines we will discuss in a clear cut manner here. So let's discuss emission spectrum. So this is the first spectrum, emission spectrum. So emission spectrum. In an emission spectrum, you have to first of all, you always remember that emission is nothing but emitting the energy. So general way I am discussing here. Let's suppose example. So if this is your nucleus, so you have one atom here. So let's suppose electron is here. So electrons only gives a spectrum, not the nucleus. Okay, you should clear cut. You should always remember this point. So next one, you see here, this electron gets the energy and it will be moving to the next orbit. If it is moves to the next orbit, so how it will move? It gains the energy. Whenever it gains the energy, it gives you what here? It always gives a emission spectrum. So how emission spectrum will come here? So here it will takes the energy. It moves to here. So when after moving this one, it will not be stable. This atom will not be stable. What happens? It will come back to its original orbit. Then it will radiate some kind of. It will give some kind of emission, some kind of radiation in terms of radiation. While it is coming back to the say original, say from the different orbit to here, it will give you some kind of spectrum. Spectrum means it is going to emit some kind of light, some kind of different colored light. So when this can be happened, so this can happen when the different types of energy if it absorbs. So if it is absorbs more energy, it will emit a different color. If it so different types you can say. So let's suppose it is gone to the second. If it has absorbed some energy and it is coming back from this particular state. Let's suppose it has taken more energy. So this particular electron has taken more energy. Then it will move to the some other bigger orbit. Yes or no? Let's suppose it came to here. It moves to this particular orbit. Now then from here, it is still if this atom is not at all stable. So it is goes to its original orbit. When it is going to this orbit here, it is going to, while in this way, it will emit some kind of colored light. That we call it as a spectrum. So this emission spectrum is simple here. Whenever it takes the energy, when it is going back, whenever it is reaching back to the save its original position, original orbiter, then I can say this is a emission spectrum. So in emission spectrum, so hydrogen, so how can we study the hydrogen atom here? So this is the same pattern I am going to follow. So here, so this is the example I have taken. So how can we study the hydrogen atom for it? By taking the emission spectrum, will the hydrogen hydrogen gas gives emission spectrum? Will it give or not? We'll discuss it here. So here hydrogen is also emits both the spectrum. One is a emission spectrum also it gives, and absorption spectrum also it will give. So let's suppose what exactly I am going to do in emission spectrum. Let's suppose this is a hydrogen. I am going to take it in one tube. So I will fill with the hydrogen here. Okay. Whenever I impact with this one, I am going to impact with the alpha particle. Whenever I am impacting with the alpha particle, so this tube, this is a discharge tube, you can state. It is maintained with a low pressure. So whenever this is low pressured, so in this one we have a totally filled with the hydrogen atom. So each atom you know already. I am talking only about one particular atom. Let's suppose one atom is there. Each atom is stable now. It has an electron and it is revolving. Now what happened? Whenever the alpha particle is high energy particle, whenever they are encountering with whenever they are colliding or whenever they are interacting with the electron, then this electron will be excited to the next orbiter. So when this is excited to the next orbiter, now this atom will not become stable. So what happens here? This electron try to move back, come back to its original orbit. Whenever it is coming back, it will be radiating some energy. That radiating energy, and it will give some kind of emission. So scientists many people who are already studied about it, but they have taken a different energized particle, and they found that let's suppose if that electron is coming from, if that electron comes from the second orbit, what kind of wavelength it will give. So we will discrete different types of light colors with based on their wavelength. So what wavelength it could give. So I already told third postulate of Bohr's, I told it is related to the wavelength. So whenever the wavelength whenever it gives a different wavelength, then they found some certain kind of a spectrum scale they have found. So here from, let's suppose this electron comes from here, it will exhibit some kind of wavelength. Let's suppose it went to some other orbit. From there, if it is coming back to its original orbit, then also it will emit some kind of wavelength. Based on this wavelength, they found some different spectral scale they will also found. So how can these things they can see in this particular tube, whether because gases will not observe, but we can observe the spectrum by using what here? Spectroscope. So spectroscope will put this thing and will impact with alpha particle, and will find some kind of, let's suppose this is a alpha particle. So here this is what happens in the, whatever I do, that happens in the discharge tube. Let's suppose if it is there atoms, each atom will give that kind of spectrum. Okay, so each atom, will it give any spectrum? So I am going to observe this thing in a spectrometer. So it's simple. What exactly it will give? So I am drawing it I'm going to do something here. So see here, this particular hydrogen atom we have. So whenever this is impacted with alpha particle, because whenever a collinated alpha particle, a beam of alpha particle comes and hits this particular atoms, this is going to exhibit some kind of spectra here. So which will have a different wavelength, you can say. So different wavelength it is going to exhibit. So it depends on what here, the energy, whatever the energy you are providing to it, that kind of spectra it is going to give. So we have a different spectral series we have already. So that we are going to discuss. So when the discharge tube is exposed to the high energy particle, it is going to exhibit some kind of wavelength here. So you see a lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4, lambda 5, like this wavelength will come. So this wavelength gives a red, green, red, blue, violet, some diminished colors like this, the different spectrum it will form. So it is simple, so it is very simple to see this one. So different scientists were made different scales. So by taking this particular consideration in 1889, I guess 1889 or 1888, so Balmer has done one experiment on this discharge tube, and they found one emission spectra. So this emission spectra they found that let's suppose so Balmer, Lyman, so they have done certain experiment. They found one scale, so emission scale they found. So let's suppose if it is there, let's suppose they will find some kind of lines. These lines will be discreting with a different color. Simply you can remember like that. So here, which is a 912 nanometer. So we have here 912 nanometer and 91 nanometer. Sorry. Here it is 91 nanometer. So 91 nanometer here, and this is it started from 91 nanometer. Okay, it started from the basic wavelength 91 nanometer, and if it is ends at a 22 nanometer. This series he told it as a Lyman series. So in a Lyman series, what is this could be? So in this Lyman series, whenever we are taking a discharge tube of hydrogen gas if you take, so in that hydrogen gas, if it is moves from, let's suppose you take, this is your nucleus, this is your first orbit. So here this is your first orbit. So first orbital nucleus it will not fall. So when the electron is excited to the next energy level, from there it is going to fall to the first orbit. So Lyman has studied a very basic, very keen studies I can say. So whenever the electron falls to the second orbit, then what kind of spectra it will be released and what is the wavelength variation. So he found that from 91 nanometer to 112 nanometers, in between that he found some lines. So that lines he call it as a Lyman series. Next, similarly, some other fellow also came. His name is Balmer. So he is started studying about it. His first wavelength is 365. So 365 to 659 nanometers. So Balmer is the oldest series I can say. So in the oldest series, if the wavelength they named after the wavelength. So you see here, this is I said a Lyman series. So now the variation, let's suppose the discharge tube, let's suppose this is the discharge tube. So this discharge tube alpha particle are impacted. So it will give some kind of spectrums here. Those spectrums in a different lines we can say. So when the different lines we find if the wavelength varies from 365 nanometer to 659 nanometers, then that series we say Balmer series. Next, based on one more thing here, after this one, if I find more than the highest wavelengths number, if it is like 1875 nanometers or more than this one, this series I told, this variation of series from 659 nanometers to the remaining, we call it as a Paschen series. So Paschen series. So these are in practical, whether these things are exist? Yes, these things are exist. Why? Because you see, if the variation, so what is the basic thing you need to understand is here, you always remember, this is my discharge tube. In this I have filled with the hydrogen gas. Whenever the alpha particle is impacted, so if this is depends on the what energy of alpha particle you are impacting. If you are impacted here, a low energy of impaction, so you will get some kind of wavelength. Then if it is, if variation you find from Wibjar color, yes or no? So red to violet, you find a wavelength. If it is varying between 91 to 112 nanometer, then that is a Lyman series. If the variation you find 365 to 659 in between the, if it is a range, then that is called as a Balmer series. If you find more than that one, then it is a Paschen series. So these series are based on what? The electron transmission from different orbits. Okay. So you have to remember this thing. So we are going to discuss, this is all this series is as based on the emission spectrum. Okay, emission, we know that it is coming back to its original position. So somebody also thought that whenever these particles, whenever so let's discuss here on board. I hope you understood this one. Next, absorption series. So in absorption series also you see what happens here. In absorption series, or absorption spectrum, you say absorption spectrum. So most of the scientists, they thought that whenever the nucleus is there, from nucleus we have a orbit. Okay, electron is got excited to the next level. So whenever it is excited, in emission, what is I told, whenever it is excited to this particular stage, again what it tries to come back by radiating some energy. That is the emission spectrum I told. But most of the cases, what happens here, whenever they are taking the electron, whether they are not emitting any kind of light. While they are releasing, they are emitting some kind of wavelength. But while they are taking the energy, and when the excitement is happen, whether they are going to emit some kind of spectra? Yes. So when they are observing some energy, when they are transmitting to the next orbiter, then also they will emit some kind of spectra. That spectra is called as a absorption spectra. So this is important. So this is while observing the energy, while it is transmitting from one orbit to the other orbiter, then only this spectrum happens. So this spectrum is, whether it is different from the emission spectrum? No, it will be also same. It is also same. It is also identical to the emission spectrum. That is a most important point, and it is been asked in many competitive exams. So you should remember whether the absorption spectrum is identical to the emission spectrum. Yes, the lines, whatever the lines I have drawn. So if I take a scale here, so if I told this is a Lyman series, this is a Balmer series, this is a Paschen series. So I told 91 to 122 nanometer here, 359 to 350 to 659, and more than that if it is Paschen, I told. While I am discussing in absorption spectrum also, same lines you can observe. So you always remember this in a absorption spectrum is identical to the emission spectrum. These lines are coincides. So definitely both spectra will be identical. So in what matter? So here depends on your studies. So if you are studying the absorption spectrum or if you are studying the emission spectrum, so both gives a same kind of series. And here one more important point you need to understand here. As I told you, both are identical. So you see here. So absorption spectrum and emission spectrum both will coincide together. Second, most important note you should maintain. The note is that, so any spectrum means any one element, if any atom of particular element emitting the one kind of spectrum will not be same for the other element atom. Let's suppose if a hydrogen is emitting some spectrum here, if hydrogen is emitting some spectrum, it will not be identical to the lithium or any other element. For the sake, if I talk here, if a hydrogen emitting the spectrum, it will not be identical to the any other. It will not match to the other spectrums. So this is the best thing in identifying the different elements, because by using the spectrums also, what I can see in a chemical engineering, we will say, let's suppose I have many compounds I will mix up. So I wanted to see what are the ingredients in that. So how can I find? So I will use this spectrums concept. By using the spectroscope, what can I see? I know basic thing. What is the principle that each element atom will not be same for will not exhibit the same spectrum to the other element. So there is no identity, there is no relation between the spectrum. These are identical, like a fingerprints. I can say, like a fingerprints of one person will not match to the other person. Yes or no? The same thing here for each element's atom. So it is having its own spectrum. It will not match to the other elements atom spectrum. So here you have to be very careful. So in a many chemical like suppose I'm talking about the chemical ingredients. While identifying the chemical ingredient, they'll study based on the spectrum, this absorption spectrum and emission spectrum, and they'll find what are the ingredients are present inside that particular chemical. This is also important. And mostly same thing if I speak in another manner. So generally we know we crime scenario, or sometimes forensic science will speak. So sometimes the poison, they'll poison the person who died. In the sense they are going to identify, they are going to check their samples. How they are going to find that this particular food is contained the poison? It's simple. They are going to check with this absorption spectrum. So you know already poison is contained. Whatever the poison atoms are there, those will emit different spectrum. And whatever the food atoms are there, that will be different spectrum. So they will identify it, and based on that they are going to solve the case. So this is important. This is a application. So that is why Bohr's model of atom is very important. A hydrogen atom is very important. So let's talk about the series here. So these are the importance here. So based on this one, now you got to know what is a spectrum. Now we'll discuss one simple thing here. What is that? What are the spectral series? What are the different spectral series presently? So here I will discuss spectral series now. So put a heading spectral series. So spectral series here. So spectral series. So don't confuse here. It's very easy and clear. So I have already done that energy levels formula. I have got it. If you don't know, you go to that video and you can have that energy levels and Bohr's model. At last I have discussed energy model formula. So here that energy model formula I know by the Bohr's model only. So what I am going to do, Bohr's this Balmer, you see here, this spectral lens Balmer, okay, his name is Balmer. So Balmer series before the formula given by the Bohr's, before that only Balmer series is explained it. Okay, he explained that. So Balmer explained that he has taken the same thing, a discharge tube, and like same thing, he is taking the discharge tube like this, and he impacted with a high energy particle. He found some kind of spectra here, and he found that he told that there is a he didn't know, he didn't tell, he didn't express any formula, but in a theoretical manner he explained some hydrogen atom with a H gamma it is there. Okay, next I can say this is okay, he is mentioned with alpha, started with alpha. Okay, it started with alpha. It is the highest wavelength. As if I say this direction, here wavelength is increased. Here highest wavelength. Okay, H alpha. Next he found lowest H beta. Next he found H gamma. Okay. Next he found some other thing till H infinity. Some other thing. So what are these things? What are these things actually? Simple. You should not worry about it. So simple. What he done is he gave some amount of energy. He found a biggest spectral lines, means like a Vibja, like a rainbow he found. So he filled with the gas like this and he impacted with the alpha particle over it. As alpha particle is alpha particle, any other particle you can say alpha particle. Okay, talk about alpha particle. Impacted it and he found some kind of some kind of emission. You see, so that emission is having a more wavelength. So he is told expressed as H alpha. Next H beta, H gamma, like that. Depends on the whatever the particle, whatever the high energy particle you are impacting on it. Based on that one, he drew one scale. So here that scale is explained by the Bohr's in a clear-cut manner. How he explained? So you see here. So he's taken the Bohr's is taken this whole series he verified. Okay. So Bohr's is taken this one. Bohr's model's third postulate you talk. So from there I have calculated one formula. 1 lambda is equal to r into, here I have told 1 by nf, my nf square, 1 by ni square I have formula. So by using this formula he verified the series and he explained it how it happened. That's a important thing. So how it happened, how this scale you drew, he explained with this formula. So how? So see, so Balmer has taken here, so don't confuse here. Generally Balmer and Lyman is nearly almost they'll say same, but you should be very careful while discussing about a Balmer. Lyman is different, Balmer is different. So you see here he explained it in this manner that let's suppose his consideration, Balmer's consideration is that this is a nucleus, this is the first orbit. First orbit to the electron will not fall into it. Okay, this is first orbit, it will not fall. You know already. Next, second, from second onwards he studied. So this is one more electron I can take. This is the second electron. Let's suppose this electron is impacted with some other high particle energy and it is moved to the third particle. So whenever if it is moved to the third, if it is transited to the third particle, third orbit, it is going to exhibit a spectrum. Either it may be emission spectrum or absorption spectrum. Both are here identical to each other. So he told that whenever it is comes here, so his Balmer's consideration is that he didn't consider the first orbit of the atom. He is taking this from the second orbit onward. He started explanation for the scale, spectral scale. So here he told that 1 by lambda is equal to r into, so he told that from this is your final. Now it comes to the third one. So he is always mentioned that it may be went from, so here let's suppose example, I am not talking about absorption spectrum here I am talking emission spectrum, you should remember. So emission spectrum is first of all they have studied, after that only absorption spectrum they found, and they found that both are identical. So before that, because in 1880, this is 1889 something, so in that years they know emission spectrum, they don't know absorption spectrum. After that only they found both are identical. Okay, so now this electron is transmitted to third orbit, this is your third orbit. Now third to it will be unstable and it will first move to the second stage, first it will move to the second orbit. So in a Balmer series he found that from third to it will go to the second. Next again if it is excited to the fourth, fifth, like that. So he told that second orbit will be the key role, like a key player. Okay, so here so now initially it will be from where here, from third to it is going to the next. So he is taken that final nf square, means this final he is taken, the electron which is coming back, it is coming back to the original position, that is your final. So that final is taken as a second orbit. So it is 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square. By considering this thing he explained the Balmer series perfectly, he is explaining. Okay, so you understood, right? So simple here, my electron is not here I am not talking about absorption spectrum. It reached to this third orbit and then it is going back to the second one, or else it is reached to the fourth orbit and from fourth to it is coming back to the second one. So he is considered the second orbit is the role player. Okay, for a Balmer series. Okay, next same likewise, so take down the notes here. So he told so Balmer series only if I explain it, so likewise we have some other series also, Lyman series also we have. So Balmer series is what I told, Balmer series. So Balmer series is simple series here. So Balmer series, okay, I'm very bad at spellings. Okay, Balmer series. So Balmer series, what is this one? I told you, he is always explained 1 by lambda is equal to r into he's taking the second orbit, so everything, so the atom, the electron will always, his explanation is always from the second to third, second to fourth, second to fifth, second to like that. So whenever reaching back, they are going to come to only for second. Okay, so this is 1 by 2 square 1 by n square. Here n will be run from third, it can be third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like that till the infinity you can take. This is a Balmer series. So you understood, right? What is there? So electrons are, he didn't consider the first orbit, he didn't consider. Balmer he didn't consider for the first. He is taken from the second. So second is n is equal to 2. From second onwards he is taken. So if it is goes to the third, if electron goes to third and come back to the second. Next, if it goes to the fourth and come back to the second. If it goes to the fifth, it comes back to the second. So second orbit is taken as a referral orbit. Okay, that is a Balmer series, and it is a oldest series. I can say it is old one. Then after Lyman came, taken his series and is upgraded in another format. So let's talk about that also. This is a Balmer series. You take it down. Balmer series. Next, Lyman series. You see Lyman, how this Lyman is explained this thing. So Lyman also, this is a Balmer series. Even Lyman series also exists. So this Lyman series also explained by whom here? Bose. Okay. So see here Lyman. So what is his spelling? Okay. L-A-M-A-N-N, Lyman series. So Lyman series is one more important one. So we will discuss it. He is taken this in Balmer series. He is taken some other, same experiment is same. This one is hydrogen filled discharge tube. Whenever I am impacting with the alpha particle, alpha or any high energy particle, this electron will be excited to the next orbiter. Okay, this next orbit, then they will come back to the same original orbit. Then what happens? Emission spectrum happen. So this series by Lyman also explained that way. So here the basic difference is here. He is taken from the first orbit onwards. He is taken from the first orbit onwards. So 1 by lambda is equal to r into, here simple, he is also taken the from the second orbital. If I speak here, if I see here also he is taken from the first orbit itself. So you see here, I'll clear it and I'll explain it. So you see, so Lyman series, I'll explain here. So Lyman series. So Lyman series is also same. So he is considered that, let's suppose this is your nucleus, this is the first orbit, which is n is equal to 1, next orbit is n is equal to 2. So n is equal to 2, this is n is equal to 1. So one electron is moves from first orbit to the second and comes back to the first. You are getting my point? Electron is excited to the second, now it is unstable. Then it will be coming back to the first orbit. But Balmer didn't consider the first orbit. Okay, that's a big difference between the Balmer and the Lyman. So you see here, Lyman has explained it. So he's taken NF, means he's taken the consideration 1 by lambda. So that equation I can write. Lyman is explained 1 by lambda r into. So it is coming from the second to first, right? Okay, it can be happens here. So I can write so r into 1 by nf square minus 1 by ni square. So here it is coming from the second to the first also it is coming here. So that is why you can say here the best thing here, Lyman, even you can take this is considered for the first one he is considered. So you can write here 1 by lambda is equal to 1 by r into 1 by f, means 1 by 1, okay, minus 1 by n square. So if n runs from here, n is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 like this till infinity. which means it is coming from the electrons are excited from first orbit to the second, first orbit to the third, first orbit to the fourth to first it is coming back. So Lyman is a standard, okay, it is started from the initial stage. Okay, next this is important. Next year Lyman is over. Next you see here, this is important, okay, take down the notes. Chalo. Okay, one more series I am going to discuss here. One more important series is a Paschen series. So in a Paschen series, what happens? In a Paschen series, 1 by lambda is equal to, he considered that r into, started with the third orbit square minus 1 by n square. So he didn't take a first or second, he started with the third one. So now what does this mean? So it's simple. So this is our nucleus, this is the first, this is the second. He didn't disturb this two orbit. He started with the third orbit, which is n is equal to 3. So let's suppose if the electron is at n is equal to 3, it is moved to the n is equal to 4. Okay. So which is n is equal to 4, it is moved. Now electron is right here, and then it is coming back to the, from 4 to 3 it is coming back. Next from 3rd to 5th, 3rd to 6th, 3rd to 7th. So it started that his study started with the n is equal to 3rd. That is why my formula is 1 by lambda is equal to r into 1 by 3 square minus 1 by n square. So he is also, the Bose, they explained this series also in a clear cut manner. So n starts with here 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. Okay. Next one more series I will speak here. The similar manner, we have one more series here. Paschen is over. Next bracket series we have. Okay. Bracket series. Okay, his name is Bracket. Okay. Oh, bracket series. So in a bracket series, he told that he is considered from fourth. From fourth, he is explained the series. So n is started here. So who is actually doing all this thing? This is all explained by whom? Bose. Okay. So n5, 6, 7 like this it will start. That is your bracket series. Next similar manner, take it down. This is bracket series. Okay. Note it down. Bracket series. So this is the formula. Next one you have to remember. Next series is a P-Fond series. P-Fond series also important, but here is taken here same formula but explained with the 5th orbit number. So electron is excited from what? 5th to 6th, 5th to 7th, 5th to 8th like that, and they are coming back to same other again. They are coming back to the same orbit, 5th orbit. So 5th orbit is a referral orbit for the P-Fond. So these are all series explained by the, even though they are exist before the all this explanation, but the Bose is taken, Bose found one formula. With that formula he is explained all these spectral series. Okay. So he even gave one fundamental thing, that fundamental graph also he maintained with the different orbit number, and how they are coming back to the same, how they are coming back to the original position. So let's see that also. So he is taking the energy based on the energy levels. He is going to draw that. So let's take so this is your energy. Okay, total energy I can take. Okay, simply I will draw so you can understand it simply. So this is your energy level, and this is, so energy I am drawing it. This is your energy levels, total energy. So you know, as I told you, ground level energy. This is your ground level energy for whom your n is equal to 1. So you take, let's suppose I am drawing it in a big manner only. This is n is equal to 1. For n is equal to 1, ground level energy how much, buddy? Minus 13.6 electron volt, sorry. Not mega, this is just electron volt. So for ground level energy, n is equal to 1. I am typing some other next like this. So one more, n is equal to 2 I am taking. Next n is equal to 3. This is orbits, okay. N is equal to 4. So n is equal to 5. Like this. N is equal to 6. Next n is equal to 7. So how many orbits have taken? 7 orbits. Okay, enough to explain this one. So let's suppose this is the first orbit has a energy level is minus 13.6. As the orbit increases, what happens? Energy also increases. Why I say energy is increases? Because here the negative value is less. So for the second one, how much I can write? 3 point, so I have a 3.4 electron volt. So this is, you can write, no need to write every time electron volt here. I am writing minus 13.6. So here this is in electron volt only. The energy in electron volt. Okay. So energy in electron volt here minus 13.6. This is, so minus 3.4. Which one is bigger here? Minus 3.4 is bigger. Simple, I know that. This is minus 13.6. So 13.6 is lesser than the minus 3.4. So for the second orbit we have a minus 3.4. Similarly, for one more third one I have a minus 1.51. Next, similarly I have one more orbit here. So here 0.85. Next one more thing 0.56, 54. One more I have 0.38, like this. So see guys, what exactly I am doing? I am taking the original values. You know formula, total energy formula is minus 13.6 divided by n square. If you could substitute, you will get this value. It's simple, you can write. Okay. So now let's suppose we are thinking that so from first orbit to electron is excited to the second, third, fourth, fifth, means not only one electron. One electron is taking that from first orbit to it is excited to the seventh orbit. So that time, let's suppose that time it is coming back to the original position of first one. Okay. Next, from first orbit, if the electron is excited to the sixth orbit. Next, sixth one, here it is present, again it will come back to its original orbit. So likewise, it will excite, if it is went from 1 to the 5th, it will come back. Next, fourth to first, it will come back. Next is third to it will come back. From second to it will come back. So what is this spectral length? This is, you know already. One means I told one reference is taken for Lyman series. Note it down. Lyman series. Okay. Next, we'll take a reference of second one. So let's take one electron is example I'm taking from second orbit it went to seventh orbit here, and it is coming back. It is coming back to the second. Similarly, sixth to it is coming back to the second. From fifth to it is coming back to the second. From third to it is coming back to the fourth to it is coming back to the second. From third to it is coming back to the second. Which one second is referred for what here? Balmer. Okay. Next, in the same manner, third one. So third also excited. Let's suppose if it is excited to the third here. Next, from fifth to it will come back. From sixth to it will come back here. Next, from fifth to it will come back. From next fourth to third it will come. What is this one? This could be your Paschen series. Okay, you can write. Yeah, Lyman series you can write. Balmer series you can write. Paschen series also you can write. Next, fourth referral. Fourth, if from electron is jumped from excited from fourth to seventh. Like suppose if it went to fourth to seventh. Next, fourth to sixth it will come back, right? Anyhow it should come back. So whenever it is come back, you know what is fourth. Fourth is taken by Brocket. You should remember. So his name is Brocket series. This is. So this is Brocket series. Next, if it is taken from fifth, so fifth from fifth to it is gone to the seventh. Next, sixth to here, fifth to seventh. Again, it will come back to fifth. Fifth to sixth, it will come back to the fifth. So this is a P-form series. Okay, so this is a spectral diagram. So Bohr is explained it in a clear cut manner. Please note it down. Okay, while you are taking the notes, you just choose the video and then you can take it. Take the notes. So this is how the spectral lines will be looking. This is our spectral lines. Okay, based on the different series, Bohr has explained it in a clear manner. Okay. So this is a Bohr's one more explanation for the spectral spectrums and the spectral lines. Next, I will discuss now. Now I will discuss a simple things here. So Bohr has done many things. Okay, he explained what is the velocity of electron, what is the radius of electron, what is the energy of electron. So kinetic energy of electron, potential energy of electron, total energy of electron, ground so energy levels in terms of wavelengths also he explained. He's also explained the spectral spectrums, spectral lines also he's explained. Now it's time to say his negativity. It means his drawbacks also we have to discuss. So this is also important here. So Bohr's limitations are drawbacks. Okay, limitations are drawbacks you can say. So he is here. Even though Bohr's explained in a good manner, I say everything is explained, but still he didn't explain few things. Few things he didn't explain. So here, whatever he says that explain the spectra. So all about the spectrum only he got a certain things. So I will discuss everything. So second postulate. So second postulate you have already told. Angular momentum mvn Rn is equal to I have taken a multiplied nh divided by 2 pi. So here multiplication nh divided by 2 pi means angular momentum quantization. Angular momentum, regarding angular momentum quantization he didn't explain. That's the first limitation. Second, spectra he is explained. Okay, spectra explained for hydrogen. So he is explained for hydrogen. That is a true one. It is correct one. So same spectra it is for lithium. Same spectra for the lighter molecules, the lighter atoms is explained clear manner. But when it comes for the complex atoms, his explanation is not appropriate, not up to the mark. So not correct also you can say. So the complex atom spectra he didn't explain. Okay. Second one more limitation if I speak. Whenever the spectral lines, as I told you, I have taken this discharge tube, I am impacting it every time I told. But whenever this discharge tube is around this one is we have a magnetic field or electric field. Whenever this high energy particle is coming and hitting these atoms of hydrogen atom, it will find different types of spectral lines, not the regular one. These are deviated or there are some diffracted, I can say, something different you can find from the actual one. So whenever the spectra is whenever we have taken the spectra of this discharge tube, I am not considered any field around it. Whenever we have a field around it, you will find a different spectra. So that also he didn't explain. So here spectra in a electric and magnetic field deviations he didn't explain. So he didn't explain that also. The three limitations were important. One is second postulate quantization, he didn't explain. Second one, the spectra for the lighter atoms he explained in a clear manner, but a complex spectra he didn't explain. But whenever he is doing the spectral lines, whenever spectra is made to place in any electric field or magnetic field, they will find a different spectral line, different deviation spectral line. That experiment also he didn't speak. So these are the things, his limitations. So here one more important thing. So these things anyhow they are come across in an electromagnetic wave. These things are related to the electromagnetic wave. So will be discussed in a you are going to discuss, you are going to see this thing in your higher education. Next, but the second postulate. So second postulate quantization explained by some other fellow. His name is de Broglie's. Okay, we will discuss. The next concept is de Broglie's explanation for second postulate of quantization. So take down this thing. Let's discuss next topic. Okay. Next topic is chalo. Next topic is what is the next topic? Chalo, topic name is very big. So that is de Broglie's explanation. So de Broglie. His name is very difficult to write. De Broglie. De Broglie's explanation. De Broglie's explanation for Bohr's second postulate. Second postulate. About a second postulate we will discuss now. About a second postulate we will discuss. So here, so Bohr has taken a second postulate. Sorry, my marker is over. I will take this one. Bohr second. Okay. Bohr second postulate here. So we know already Bohr's quantization. How he made the angular momentum is equal to the quantization. How it made that he didn't explain it in a clear manner. So de Broglie came and explained this entire second postulate in a clear manner. So let's see those things. So he's taken that. So de Broglie is taken that. So first thing he is taken that whenever the electron is revolving, so he is explained in terms of particle standing wave. So what is a particle standing wave? So particle standing wave. What is this particle standing wave? We'll discuss. So here you take A to B. A to B, there is no change. A to B, now it is standing. But you see why it is standing? You see why it is standing? Why? Because you see from A to B, I am drawing. We think that one wave came and it is also one wave. It is oscillating like this. Some other wave also came here. Some other wave from here A to B moving. Next, some other opposite wave or something which is in opposite manner like this. If it is opposite manner, what happens? This black is stabilized by the blue. This black line is stabilized by this blue line. When the stabilization occurs, then it will form this standing particle. Okay, the standing particle will form. So that he told that the standing wave will occur. So length is nothing but is equal to what here? Number of wavelengths, which is n into lambda. He explained. So length is standard here. It is becoming standing here. Standing it's because due to the particle, whatever the oscillating particles are there, they are balanced due to the standing wave. So this standing wave occurs, then length can be equal to what can I write? N into lambda. So that is the first thing de Broglie had done. So please take down. So now okay, let's discuss one more thing here. So as I told you, whenever the electron is revolving around the nucleus, so you see here what is the basic thing is missing here. So whenever this electron is revolving in this orbit, so it may be moving with the it may be moving in a particle. It may be moving with a particle in a particle wave manner. So let's suppose example I am discussing here. So let's suppose if it is moving like this. Okay. Okay, in another manner, it will be balanced. Again, once if it is moved in this manner, then it will be balanced by whom? So this will be balanced like this. First, it is moving in a black direction. Second, it is moving in a blue direction. So when this is happens here, when this things is happened, what happens here? When the electron is moving in a black, it is making one type of wave. When it is moving in a blue manner, it is making one type of wave. Then this black and blue will form what here? A standing wave. Those two will be collide each other, they will form a standing wave. And now this entire pattern will look like what here? So this will be like this. This will look like here, like this. So electron is oscillating and it is moving in this direction. But he found that de Broglie said that it may be making the particle oscillations. Electron is oscillating and moving. So when they are moving like this in a blue colored manner, and it will be balanced by other one, then it will form a standing wave like this, because these two will be balanced, these two will be balanced, this loop also balanced, this loop also balanced here. So each balanced and it will look like a circle to you. So he told that simply he told from there, he explained that as I told you, L is equal to n into lambda. But if electron moves around the circle, then L is equal to, what can I write this equation 1? L is equal to, I can write if n number of electron, then this is you have to take its perimeter, which is a 2 pi r. Here 2 pi, here r number of electrons. They may be not only one electron, there may be other different electrons also there. Then that time also I have to consider, that is why I am taking n number of electron, which is 2 pi rn. So I am taking this is equation 2. So if I take 1 is equal to 2, what can I write here? N lambda means you can write simply. So 2 pi Rn is equal to, you can write n into lambda. Okay. Here lambda is equal to, we know they already found in a Planck's constant, that is h is equal to mvn. mv, this is mvn. Okay, lambda is equal to mvn. If I substitute in this equation, what I will get? Please note it down. Please note it down. Okay. So here, please take down this diagram also. So I am taking here. So let's suppose I am removing these things only. So from here, we will discuss one thing. So here, if I substitute lambda is equal to h by mvn here, what happens? So 2 pi rn is equal to n, at place of lambda I have to write nh divided by mvn. Then from there I can directly write what? So if 2 pi goes here and this comes here, this is mvn rn is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. This is nothing but angular momentum. So this is angular momentum quantization. This is angular momentum. This one is angular momentum quantization. So quantization means multiply. If I multiply each different angular momentum, you will get further different orbit and different electrons. This is quantization. So these are the different things. This is a de Broglie's explanation for the second postulate. And also he also explained that de Broglie also conducted few more experiment regarding regarding the Bohr's experiment. He also found that whatever the energy level given by the one more thing, this is important, whatever the energy levels given by the Bohr's not only correct for a circular orbit, it is also correct for the elliptical orbit also. Whatever the ground level whatever the levels of energy levels he explained, it is also explained for the circle. It is also equal for the, it is also correct for the elliptical orbit. That also given by the, that thing is explained by the de Broglie. So these are the important things, and this will end your atom chapter with a clear cut manner. So thank you all. So subscribe my channel and be in touch with me. Thank you.